Are you tired of making those frustrating decisions that lead to loss after loss? We've all been there, feeling like no matter what we do, we just can't seem to make the right calls in-game. It feels like you're stuck in that loop of defeat, right? Well, guess what? Today we are going to turn that around. I'm going to share a game-changing strategy with you. A simple rule that's going to wipe away all of those struggles. This isn't just any strategy either. It's one that top tier players like Tarek or Tens use every single day to dominate in their matches. But why should you believe me? Well, when Valorant first came out, just like many of you, I started out in Iron. Although I have been playing games all of my life, FPS was a completely new genre for me and I really sucked at it. Over time though, I was able to improve, and day by day I climbed my way up the ranks, all the way up to Immortal 3, peaking at top 2000 on the ladder. Since then, I've been a full-time Valorant coach and creator where I specialize in breaking down complex strategies into easy to follow steps so that you guys can rank up just like me. Around 1 year ago, I introduced this rule and it was one of my most viewed videos ever, basically transforming the way that many players think about the game. In the last year, the game has been evolving, but one thing reigns true. This rule still stands. And in the next 20 minutes, I'll be showing you this simple trick that many players spend years trying to learn. Before I reveal the rule though, I want you to watch a few clips. For all of these clips, they're directly related to why this rule is so important and how it can either make or break a round. Pay close attention and see if you can start piecing together the puzzle. Let's roll the first clip.
Heavy B man.
B man, all B. Coming up B.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
B is B.
I got mine. They're out B. Oh my gosh. Yep.
Take your time. Hide.
Wait for your flank, yeah,
One
just wait.
enemy remaining.
Hit 70, 75.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Oh my god.
Low, super low. You got this.
Oh my god.
He's one hit.
Oh my god. Oh my god!
Oh my. Is that mistake number one?
Oh my god, I was so
Dude.
hard.
Nice, but not nice.
Here we have Tarek in a tense situation. As the clip plays, you'll see something quite surprising. Tarek, always known for his precise jet play, ends up whiffing just a little bit. Alright, this whiff is pretty bad, but what if we were to tell you it's not entirely Tarek's fault? We'll get to that later. First, take a look at another clip.
I'm gonna play him back.
Blinded.
Cover going out.
Raise. They could be
Let's
out.
just go all together this way. 5 man. On site one. I have no smoke for
Bring us
CT.
sight.
CT, Omen.
All blind.
Oops.
Head spawn.
Spike down.
60 Omen. CT and 2 link. Both A link after.
No charges left.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
Player standing.
Oh wow.
Oh my
Last
god.
one down.
Here, Tarek ends up in a 2v3 while pushing A. In a bold move, he dashes into the enemy Omen, lands the kill, and then quickly turns around to trade, securing a very important round win on pistol. Believe it or not, both of these clips shown are actually sort of related in a way. Finally, let's show one more related clip.
Holding.
Close to me.
Yeah,
Can you
close
smoke
to
now?
me.
Could be up there. Could be event.
He dipped.
I'm falling.
I'm rotating. Yeah, mid. Right?
No, I'm smoked off.
Got some vet.
Oh,
He
you
just
got B.
tapped me through the head and smoke.
Can you smoke in front of me, Astro, or no?
I have no smoke.
Brandon's Mel. Brandon separate Mel.
Beast play, beast.
Both
One
heaven.
heaven.
No,
And
90,
one heaven,
90
one
Omen.
beast. One heaven, one beast.
Omen's 1 HP.
TP'd somewhere. Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
they're both in.
One enemy remaining.
That's him.
That's
Dogging.
good.
Default.
We're dogging, we're dogged.
I'm going right side.
Wrapping
He's
left.
not planning. Right left.
You
Swap
box,
left,
you
step
box.
left.
Bit.
Last
Not
player
it.
standing.
How was he not
Straight
hit?
heaven.
my
Straight
God.
heaven.
I think it like vanished right before I hit him.
Tarek starts the round on A site split. He picks up on Cypher retreating, seizes the moment to follow him, only to run into a tripwire. He breaks the trip, and then rather than flanking, he leaves to swiftly rotate towards B. Once at B, he joins with his teammate at Heaven, catches the enemy Omen off guard with a rather unexpected kill, and then follows his Sky's dog onto site, contributing to a round win. Alright, so what could all of these clips possibly have in common? A terrible whiff, a crazy play, and just a standard round. Well, they all revolve around a crucial concept in Valorant: risk and reward. Valorant, as a strategic game, hinges on the balance of risk versus reward. Every decision, every move that you make carries a certain level of risk. Some plays are high-stake gambles, like dry swinging an operator at the start of the round. Others carry minimal risk, like using a Brimstone's ultimate for post-plant security. Let's dissect these clips through this lens. In the first clip with Tarek's whiff, it's more than just a missed shot. It's about understanding that no gunfight is ever a sure win. The key is setting up a fight so that one whiff doesn't cost you the round. Here, yeah, Tarek whiffed, and all things considered, they should have won this round. But what they did was still technically wrong. There is a small but very important difference between this and this. The enemy Cypher managed to take 3 separate 1v1 gunfights, which ideally should never have happened. This very small mistake in timing turned a favorable situation into a series of risky individual duels. The second clip, though, is a stark contrast. In this 2v3, Tarek quickly identifies that he's being collapsed on and acts instantly. He isolates the first fight using his dash to distance himself from the rest of Omen's team who are flanking him. By quickly landing this kill, it eases the pressure, allowing his teammate to turn around and focus all of the attention on the flank. Had they stayed passive, waiting for Omen to swing out, they surely would have gotten overwhelmed. Tarek's aggressive play here is a calculated risk to disrupt the enemy's crossfire before it happens. The final round, though less dramatic, encapsulates the essence of risk management. With a numbers advantage, Tarek smartly abandons his flank after taking out the tripwire. He could keep pushing, but why? It's just so risky to do so, and it doesn't offer much benefit. Afterwards, regrouping with his team at B, he finds himself in a 2v2. Notice his approach. He joins Sky in Heaven and plays off of the Trailblazer. Specifically, what I want you to notice is how he follows the Trailblazer. He intentionally doesn't peek out wide or follow directly behind the dog because he doesn't want to give Cypher the chance to land a kill onto him before Sky can trade. If Cypher is able to land the kill onto Tarek while Sky is dogging, she will not be able to land the trade, and it will make this round much more losable. But by playing close to the pillar like he does and letting the dog do all the heavy lifting, his patience pays off. Cypher is forced into a horrible position and has to take an impossible fight with both Sky and Tarek at the same time, easily securing the round. Now let's connect these clips back to our core rule, which we call the higher-lower rule. This simple yet powerful rule is all about managing risk versus reward based on your team's numbers in the game. When your team has more players alive, like in the first and third clips, the higher-lower rule dictates playing safe. Wait for your teammates and fight together. It's about leveraging your numbers to minimize the risk. This way, if one of you whiffs or gets one-tapped, the other one will have their back. You focus on coordinating with your teammates, ensuring that you're not taking unnecessary solo fights. Tarek demonstrates this by regrouping with his team instead of continuing a risky lurk, or when he played conservatively versus the Cypher to avoid getting killed during his Sky's dog. Inversely, when you're down in numbers, the rule shifts to aggressive play. This is about creating imbalance and catching your enemies before they are able to group up, disrupting their team dynamics. In the second clip, Tarek finds himself in a 2v3, and instead of playing passively and allowing the enemy team to capitalize on their numbers, he makes a bold, aggressive move. When you're down in numbers, it's not necessarily like you just stop fighting with your teammates. You still want to do that if you can. But rather you're looking for any fight that you can take to help you even out the score before your opponents are able to group up. The higher-lower rule is about making calculated decisions based on your team's standing in the game. It's a quick on-the-fly assessment of whether to ramp up your aggression or dial it back and play defensively. By applying this rule, you can maximize your chances of winning rounds, as Tarek skillfully demonstrates in this scenario. This is just the tip of the iceberg though, because so much more goes into managing risk versus reward in Valorant. It's not just about fighting with your teammates, and it's not just about numbers advantage either. It's also about the angles that you choose to play when you have numbers advantage. If you want to stop losing 4v1s, stick with us, but also remember that if you're watching this video and your aim still sucks, with every fight you take, the risk is much higher. You can do everything we tell you in this video, but if your aim is garbage, you're still going to lose. This game just isn't built for brainiacs, it's built for aimers. So if you're going to play it, you might as well have good aim. That's where we come in. Our hour-long masterclass over at SkillCapped is designed to teach you everything that you need to know about mastering your mechanics in Valorant so that you can stop looking like this and start looking like this. Over the last 3 years, we've done the work to simplify the game into stupid easy steps that anyone could use to help them hit Immortal. What's more is that our whole service is actually backed by a rank improvement guarantee, so if you don't climb, you don't pay. This is our promise to you that our service works, and if it doesn't work, then you shouldn't have to pay. Check it out using the link in the description below for a discount, but other than that, let's take a look at this clip and exactly what went wrong.
Bring out.
One
Okay,
enemy
Holding
remaining.
market. I think it's gonna market. Might be min.
Holding.
Feeling sight.
Here, I'll play with you right now. I'm not satchel peek, you swing with me.
I'm not there.
Cutting the vision.
Oh, this orb
Bring
so
you to
bad.
B now if you want.
I know exactly where.
I knew it.
Probably
Yeah.
out.
He has it. Just hold
Last player
Min
standing.
still. Wow.
Yeah.
Tarek's team is in a 4v1 and they end up losing this round. And this time they actually fought together, so what gives? They grouped up, nobody whiffed, and they still lost. Well, to figure out what happened here, we need to take a look at the angles they were playing. Remember how in the third clip with Sky's dog, when Tarek landed the kill, Cypher's back was completely exposed to him? Yeah, this is the perfect example of how not every trade is created equal. In this case, it was practically impossible for Cypher to win the round. He would have had to do a complete 180 and landed an insane kill on Tarek. However, in the other clip, notice how both of these fights take place. The first 2 kills were a collateral, so you know that they lined up. And the second 2 kills, although the trade came a little late, both occurred in hell. The point we're getting at is that Cypher didn't really have to adjust his crosshair for either of these trades. The players were in the same spot, so although it's still good that they tried to trade each other out, if you really want to guarantee a trade, you want the crossfire to be closer to around a 90-degree angle to cause the enemy to move their crosshair as much as possible. The same thing can be seen from Tarek in this clip.
My bad.
Okay, still there.
I can
Show me something. Two there. Nice. So Omen's on site.
My trip is broken. Yo, let's push main to top mid.
Word.
Yeah, push this shit. Walk.
Nice. No mistakes.
Actually, walk spawn. Yeah.
Yeah, watch the
Close.
One enemy remaining.
That was not a mistake. That was a trade.
This guy was top.
That was not a mistake. Now you got traded.
Notice how this starts with him in a 3v5, so right now, Tarek is in fight mode. Sure, he kinda wants to grab the spike, but right now that's not much of an option. What he really needs is kills. He needs to alleviate some of the pressure by landing a kill or 2, otherwise the entire defense is just going to rotate over towards the spike and they're going to lose. That's why you'll see him swing out, just looking for anybody who will swing back. Sure enough, he lands 2 kills back to back, and once again, look at the position of these 2 kills. These players are right on top of each other. It really doesn't force him to have to move his crosshair at all. We're not saying these players shouldn't swing for the trade, they should still have an advantage here. But all we're saying is that an angle like this is much riskier than an angle like this. After landing these kills, his team makes the decision to walk spawn, landing another kill onto the enemy raise, now giving themselves the numbers advantage. So now rule says play safe and don't take any unnecessary risks. So Tarek walks into the enemy spawn solo and dies. Luckily, Raze jumps in and trades him quickly, but you can see him joking about this afterwards.
Actually, walk spawn. Yeah.
Yeah, watch the
One enemy remaining.
That was not a mistake. That was a trade.
This guy was top.
That was not a mistake. Now you got traded.
He knows he shouldn't just be wandering into spawn alone when his team has numbers like this. It's too risky. Sure enough though, you'll see even after Tarek dies, his teammates are now once again going to play defensively and just hold the angle together to not give the enemy Reyna a 1v1. I'm telling you, this stuff is textbook. The most valuable thing you can have in this game is numbers advantage. So when you're ahead, you don't want to take unnecessary risks. We're not expecting you to master this right away though. You'll still lose rounds from taking stupid risks. Just take it from the man himself though.
Oh,
Jokes
no,
aside,
that was
though,
actually that was the opposite
for you
mistake.
to improve, the way you improved was by
perfect
like
high
learning
low.
from your mistakes.
Yeah.
No joke. The problem
Yeah.
is
My
that I've
mistake
already
is
done it
doubting
all.
this team.
So like, it's hard for me to spot my mistakes.
All right, I'm gonna smoke top mid.
You know?
Get a couple people
So
tiles.
I used to be a perfect player, so I still think I am that perfect player, you know? So it's just like, I'm in a different place. For you guys that are like ascending from like silver and gold and shit, you just have to fix your mistakes and you'll be better.
It's not just Tarek or us that use this rule either. Here, take a look at a clip from a recent tournament with Sentinels and Paper Rex.
See what they're gonna try this time. That's a weak buy. Only something with a Vandal. Devai's been sitting on this Viper's pit for quite some time, having a tough time getting into a position where you can even really use it. Boombot's trading space. Now something right on the other edge. They never saw him.
Oh, they don't check
Oh my
for him.
God.
Okay, the pivot there from something does manage to find the kill. Second able to trade it back. As Forsaken will die. The nade just couldn't get away from it. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, and Sasi still on the hunt, lingering here in mid. Jing pushing forward, avoids that spray, swaps the gun, and is not ready for it. The jump comes through, and now it's all on Devi and Moniette, Stinger, and the Sheriff to try to see if they can do some addition.
Notice how the round starts with PRX losing 2 players in mid. Based on our higher lower rule, how should we expect the teams to react? Well, for PRX, this means that they need some sort of play to win the round. They need to get a pick or this eco is a complete wash. That's why you see Moniette drops the star in mid to break up the crossfire and vents, and Jing aggressively swings through it to try to land the kill on the vents player. In the context of risk versus reward, if you look at this play in a bubble, it seems like a very risky play. Everyone knows that swinging through smokes is dangerous, but when you step back and look at the state of the round as a whole, the play is actually less risky because PRX has less to lose. There's not a lot at stake right now. If they let Sentinels reset and regroup, the round is completely over. Similarly though, after Saucy lands the kill onto Jing, what do you expect from Sentinels? Well, it's a 5v2, so they group up. 3 of them go into vents, and together they take on the remaining 2 PRX players. This is the kind of thing that gets you made fun of in ranked matches because it's just that good. When your team is behind in numbers and you can't for the life of you find any duels, it becomes so frustrating. Take for example this round from Sentinels once again.
Gonna be lurking, but now that the paint shells come in, that is the tell all. Jump up over the top in second with that right click, managing to find him as he lands. Tens as well, taking up Jing. And with just classics, now they get some weapon upgrades. And a complete repeat of what we saw at the top of the map, but this time it would be Sentinels winning out a Thrifty and getting themselves up to 10. Catastrophic for Paper X.
And those natural instincts of Paper X kind of bite him in the butt here. With that Guardian, I would have liked to have seen Forsaken. He got caught with the paint shells as he started to W key forward. And it's looking really good for Sentinels.
Paranoia across, tuck away against the wall. Devi able to find one. Moniette sprinting forward, finds Celsius. Devi swinging around the back, finds another. Something now, trying to be the difference maker. Paint shell, something. Tag low in second. He started the round with a pistol kill. He'll end it as well. A triple. And Sentinels will take this round away.
Beautiful adjustment to switch to the classic in that moment. Go for that jumping right click. Knew he had his opponent weak.
They're on an eco and land 2 early kills while executing onto A site. After landing these kills, they're up 5-3, so what do? All 5 players hunker down on site. PRX is looking for fights as they approach site to even out the odds, but they literally cannot find any. Many would argue that this is almost safe to a fault. Although you want to group up when you have numbers, remember that Cypher clip earlier? Having 5 players in the exact same spot isn't actually that great normally. Except in this case, it works. So why does it work? Well, right now, most of the Sentinels actually have classics. For this situation in a normal round, taking screens would be a very good option, as this cuts off a retake route for the defenders, and it makes it super difficult for them to exit heaven safely. However, in this case, due to the lack of weaponry, taking screens could actually be pretty risky, even with numbers advantage. Say for example, they follow the Skydog into screens and set up 2 or 3 players there to lock it down. What happens if PRX rolls in there with 3 Spectres? Sentinels probably loses that fight anyway. Now what happens if PRX instead floods out of heaven and smokes off screens? Now 2 to 3 players are stuck in screens where the spike isn't planted for them. In this case, Sentinels made the decision to stick 5 players directly onto site, which they found to be marginally better than splitting up into screens. Say for example though, the enemy Reyes was still alive and had paint shells available. In this case, I would argue it's far more likely that you would actually see Sentinels follow the Skydog into screens. While splitting up like this might seem to go against our higher-lower rule, this play is still relatively safe and would provide their team with the additional space that they might need due to the threat of paint shells being so catastrophic on site. Think of it this way, you have 2 playbooks for any given situation, an offensive playbook and a defensive playbook. The higher-lower rule tells you which playbook you should pull from. It's up to you to make the best call in that situation. Alright though guys, before we wrap this up, let me tell you a little bit more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and we think that is a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered you that. Not us though. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium Valorant guides on the internet. We add new courses every month with over 1,000 guides curated into over 50 courses. No one else can compare. We also have a direct line of communication with our subscribers in Discord, so you can get connected immediately to some of the best players in the game who will respond to all questions asked. Be sure to sign up today using the link in the description below for a discount. That's going to do it all for us today, though. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.